Hi LEGO fans! Deep in the 100 Acre Wood, where Christopher Robin seems to have been totally forgotten about, we have a chubby little cubby all stuffed with acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. Today I'm going to be unboxing, speed building and reviewing set number 21326, Winnie the Pooh, the 34th set from LEGO Ideas. Based on a fan submission from Ben Alder of Suffolk, England, and with mercifully less creepy minifigures, this recreates the home of Winnie the Pooh under a big oak tree in the 100 Acre Wood. Unusually for a set based on a classic children's story, this set is aimed at 18 plus fans of LEGO who presumably have deeper pockets. This set retails for €100, 100 US dollars, or 90 Great British pounds. The 1,265 piece part count includes 5 instantly recognisable figures: manic depressive donkey with a tendency for tail loss, Eeyore; narcissist carrot lover with anger management issues, Rabbit; excitable big cat with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, Tigger; anxiety ridden but somehow brave stammerer, Piglet; and impulsive binge eating bear of little brain, Winnie the Pooh. The characters from Winnie the Pooh exhibit so many mental health symptoms they inspired a research paper, Pathology in the 100 Acre Wood, a neurodevelopmental perspective on A.A. Milne. But I digress. The box art has the dark premium finish we've come to expect from adult-oriented LEGO sets, and some really nice product photography. I particularly like the look of the transparent printed B elements. Over on the back of the box we get to peek inside the home of Winnie the Pooh. There's a bunch of neat references to details from the books that I can't wait to show you later in the video. The set itself is nice and compact, standing 9 inches or 24 centimeters tall and 8 inches or 22 centimeters wide. Later in the video we'll be taking a detailed look at Pooh's house, getting up close and personal with Pooh and the gang, and I'll even share a little insight into the Herbert family's love of the world of Winnie the Pooh. Before we do that, I think we'd better open up the honey jar. Here's everything you get inside that box. We've got 7 colourful numbered bags of LEGO elements, a 158 page instruction booklet styled to look like the original books, and thankfully now without those ridiculous black pages. And oh bother, a $100 LEGO set and we still have to put stickers on it. I'm going to go ahead and build set number 21326, Winnie the Pooh, and today this is going to be a 2-minute speed build. And here is the completed 21326 Winnie the Pooh from LEGO Ideas. Build time today was days, weeks, months? No, actually it was 2 hours and 50 minutes and much trickier than I expected. Maybe the 18+ rating wasn't down to Tigger's abuse of amphetamines after all. We're going to start by taking a detailed look at the outside of Pooh's home and maybe having a smackerel or 2 or 3 of honey before venturing inside. We'll be making ourselves at home and checking out some of the authentic details before taking a look at Pooh. No, not that kind of Pooh, this kind of Pooh and his 100 Acre Wood friends, Tigger, Rabbit, Piglet and Eeyore. Christopher Robin did appear as a minifigure in Ben Alder's original design but seems to have got lost along the way. A little bit like the real Roo who was lost by Christopher Robin when he was 9 years old. The characters are actually based on real stuffed toys owned by Christopher Robin Milne and you can see them in the New York Public Library. These are my kids and those are the real toys. The main build is absolutely stunning and recreates Pooh's home, which is built into an oak tree. The footprint is nice and compact so it doesn't take up too much display space. The house itself is hidden behind the tree but can be unfolded to gain access to the interior. We'll be taking a look inside in just a minute. In terms of height, this stands 9.5 inches or 24 centimeters high, exactly as it said on the box. The front of Pooh's house is absolutely charming and just like it appeared in the books. Winnie the Pooh states he lives under the name of Sanders, but this actually refers to the gold letters above his door. We've no idea who Mr. Sanders actually was, but maybe he was a previous resident. Stickered detail on the side of the door invites us to ring also. Pooh's door does have a nice brass knocker, and just to be sure visitors are heard, we also have an old-fashioned doorbell. I love the use of the whip element here. Creating a pathway to the door, we have some stepping stones complete with studs. These work out really well for posing the characters. There are also some toadstools which are quite fitting because Pooh Bear is a fun guy, and worryingly close to the house we have a campfire complete with trans-orange flame. Close to the fire is a fallen log, and I really like those printed tiles which show the cross sections of the wood. Judging by the honey pots behind the log, I'm guessing this is where Pooh likes to sit and think and eat a smackerel or 2 of honey. In keeping with the illustrations in the book and also the animated features, the roots of the tree are covered in tussocks of grass. I do like the aesthetic of the leaves sticking out from between the grass, but the actual construction method was a pain in the ass to get right. A much more satisfying detail is the tiny little snail made out of just 3 elements. I especially like the use of upside down cherries for the eyes on stalks. The tree itself is quite an intricate build and includes slopes and curves of every description. The colours used for the bark are quite unusual but do match the pastel tones we see in the books. Of course, as we venture into the canopy, the trunk turns into branches and leaves. We also encounter some buzzing friends who need to hear a lullaby. The honeybee nests are made of these custom hive elements, and check out those bee printed 1x1 round tiles. Buzz off! Now of course the bees have something which is coveted by a cubby little chubby, a bear of little brain, Winnie the Pooh. Posing as a rain cloud and assisted by a red balloon, he has a cunning plan. This is where you can do something very neat using these trans clear pieces.
Trans clear elements are not included in the set, terms and conditions apply.
With a little finagling and a slightly illegal build technique, Pooh Bear can join his buzzing friends up in the treetop. As an added bonus, we get a second beehive in the highest branches. Looking down on Pooh's home, you can appreciate quite how many branches and leaves are incorporated into this build. You may have noticed this was quite the undertaking during the speed build. Each cluster of branches is constructed in the same way. We've got one of these 4-way clip elements in the middle, then some of these modified 1x1s, some coral pieces which are quite an unusual choice, and then these leaves in both the dark green and the light green colour on top. The ball joint on the bottom then simply snaps into the end of the branch. From there you can adjust the angle of the branches to make it look perfect. Some of the elements used to bring the oak tree to life may be unusual, but the end result is absolutely stunning. If you need any more proof of just how innovative and fiddly this build is, check out this curved piece at the side here. It's 2 trunk elements joined together and perfectly create the side of the tree. But if you thought the tree was cute, check out Pooh Bear's house neatly hidden away at the back of the build. The tiled roof is beautifully constructed from 1x2 and 2x2 cheese slopes. We even have some leaves which have fallen from the tree above, and a chimney up on top to make sure that Pooh, Piglet, Tigger, Rabbit and Eeyore don't die of carbon monoxide poisoning. This is actually hinged so you can adjust the angle and make it more crookedy. For those of us who appreciate great craftsmanship, check out the fascia boards on the roof. Little details like the angled pieces at the apex and the decorative finials make this a very special LEGO set indeed. Letting in a little light, we have these gold-leaded windows complete with red shutters. And because why not, we have these adorable window boxes. The symmetry is perfect and we have the same details on the other side of the house. The exquisite attention to detail continues at the end of the house. Check out the window box complete with the 1x1 printed ladybug tile. Man, an English guy saying ladybug must be so confusing. I love the way this comes together at the back, but the really neat thing is that it opens up, revealing the interior of Pooh Bear's home. Everything a stout, round bear of little brain could need is found within the perfectly formed interior. Like most homes in the UK, Pooh Bear's crib does not have a basement, so he makes the most of the storage space up in the attic. Here we find a gold heart-shaped element, which I believe is going to be Tigger's locket, and a box of Poohsticks. Poohsticks is a simple game which can be played on any bridge over running water. It's first mentioned in the house at Pooh Corner and was actually a game played by Christopher Robin Milne. There's even an annual Poohsticks Championships which has been held on the River Thames in the UK since 1984. The box contains a couple of Poohsticks and is decorated with a sticker designating this as a storage receptacle for said Poohsticks. Around the back there is a little secret and it is actually marked as CR. That is going to be the initials of Christopher Robin. In the other side of the attic, Pooh is storing his favourite thing in the whole wide world, pots of honey. We have a few of these honey pots in the set and they are beautifully printed, including the misspelling of the word honey. We also have honey here dribbling down the side of the jar, and we do have honey inside. There's actually a 1x1 stud and a 1x1 tile, both in the trans yellow colour, which makes it look like it's got honey inside. It is a beautiful, beautiful thing. The things on either side of the honey pot I thought initially would just be smaller honey jars, but when I think about this more, I think they may be haycorns. Haycorns is what Piglet calls acorns, and I believe they are his favourite food. Moving downstairs we come to one of Pooh Bear's favourite rooms. He's a bear that sure likes to sleep, and this is a beautiful little bedroom. His bed is beautifully constructed and looks ever so comfortable. It also looks like Pooh Bear is a fan of bedtime stories. It's a shame that this isn't a printed book, but we do have a sticker on the cover here showing Pooh Bear with a honey pot, and inside the cover we have the name of the owner. I don't know if you can see this, but it actually says Ben A inside the front cover, which is a little Easter egg for Ben Alder, the fan designer on which this set is based. The book itself is actually telling the story of Pooh Bear with the red balloon, and of course he uses this red balloon to float up and grab the honey from the bees, which is, well, dangerous, but that's what a Pooh Bear's got to do to get his honey, I guess. Also in Pooh's bedroom we find a table complete with candle because the 100 Acre Wood hasn't been electrified yet. Removing that for just a second, you can see the detail in the bed frame. I love that minute scroll work, which is actually the wheels of a LEGO roller skate. Decorating the window and keeping out the light so Pooh Bear can get a good night's sleep, we have these adorable blue drapes. There's even a tiny pooh-coo clock which reminds Pooh when it's time for a little something sweet. Between the two rooms and immediately inside the front door we find the entrance vestibule. Here we find a full-length mirror to help with Pooh's stoutness exercises, and an umbrella complete with umbrella stand because the weather in England totally sucks. On the other side we find a dresser complete with china and some kind of wall art. I'm very pleased to see that Pooh has a freshly brewed pot of every English person's favourite thing, tea. On closer inspection, the wall art seems to be a map of the 100 Acre Wood, and this is sadly a stickered part. The final room on this whirlwind tour of Winnie the Pooh's humble abode is his lounge, sitting room, parlour, or whatever you call it where you're from. Just like the bear of little brain himself, we have this overstuffed armchair and a little sweet treat to share with his friends. On the wall we have some art depicting the providers of Pooh's favourite sweet treat. As well as another set of adorable blue drapes, we have this fantastic wood burning stove. I love the way the flue goes up into the ceiling, appears briefly in the attic space, and emerges from the roof to keep everybody safe from those toxic fumes. Whilst there's not a lot of space inside Pooh's house, I do like what the designers did with this. Little references like the Poohsticks, the pooh-coo clock, and those adorable printed honey pots really brings this to life. Of course, at the end of a busy day, it's important that Pooh Bear's friends can find their way home. To make that possible, we have a signpost showing the way to the 100 Acre Wood. It's a nicely themed addition to the set, but I can't help but being disappointed that the 100 Acre Wood sign is made up of stickers. Sweetening the deal, we do have one of these printed parts for the end of the post, and another one of those magnificent printed honey pots. Pooh's home in the 100 Acre Wood is an absolutely beautiful set and is going to make a fantastic display piece. But that is not all. Oh no, that is not all. We also have his dear friends, Tigger, Piglet, Eeyore and Rabbit. Given LEGO's obsession with highly profitable Disney franchises, it's surprising we've not seen Winnie the Pooh and his friends as minifigures before. Pooh appeared as a Duplo character back in 1999 and again in 2011. We also had a Duplo version of Eeyore, a very good looking version of Tigger, and what the f*** happened to Piglet? Although Winnie the Pooh first came out in 1926, these minifigures are based on the Walt Disney versions which came out in the 60s. Winnie the Pooh is one of the highest grossing media franchises with an estimated $80.3 billion. To put that into perspective, it's more than Star Wars. I find my lack of wealth disturbing. Dressed in a crop top and conspicuously missing pants, this is instantly recognisable as Winnie the Pooh. He stands on a standard dark yellow pair of minifigure legs. These are unprinted, which is a good job given that he's not wearing underwear. The legs do seem a little out of proportion for the short and stubby bear. It would have been good to have medium-sized movable legs, but I guess that would have introduced a new colour. The torso is red but overprinted to show Pooh's belly bulging out from beneath his shirt. The illusion is kind of spoiled when viewing Pooh from the side. As you can see, LEGO can't print the side of minifigure torsos. I like the use of dual moulded arms which fit perfectly with the t-shirt. Pooh also has an accessory which is this red balloon which he uses to steal honey from the bees. Around the back, things are pretty plain, but we do have some printing on the back of the torso showing the shirt riding up. The head mould is a custom design for Winnie the Pooh and is absolutely perfect. It's overprinted in black for the facial features with white highlights for the eyes and a little colour for the mouth and the double chin. The original fan design reused a helmet which was meant to go over a minifigure head. This custom moulded head is much better. The minifigure version of Pooh Bear also looks much better than this wretched thing that my son's been carrying around for 19 years. Apart from the proportions of the character with the legs being a little bit too long, I think LEGO did a great job of recreating Winnie the Pooh in minifigure form. Next we have Tigger. He's bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun, and being an exclusive, he's the only one. He's beautifully decorated and even has a tail made out of springs, or more accurately some squidgy plastic. The printed torso is absolutely brilliant and shows Tigger's pale chest with all of those stripes. This time the legs are printed and show the seamless and consistent decoration on the front. Completing the effect we have stripes printed on the arms, and Tigger is holding an accessory in the form of this sack held on a stick. I believe this is how he carried his possessions when he arrived in the 100 Acre Wood. Around the back, in addition to the bouncy tail, we have more printing for the stripes. LEGO did an absolutely fantastic job with this dual moulded head. It's manufactured from a combination of tan and orange coloured plastic. Overprinting includes pink for the nose and some white and black for the details. Tigger being the only one raises a serious question of extinction. There's actually a really touching tale in the Tigger movie where he goes off to try and find his family. When it comes to Tigger minifigures, this definitely is the only one, and it's perfect. This little chap is a very small animal, but when it comes to being brave, he punches above his weight. He is of course Piglet, or Piglet as Pooh likes to spell it. Being a very small animal, he has very small non-movable legs. Not very good for when you're being chased by a heffalump. The torso printing is simple but perfectly captures the stripes on Piglet's body. No printed arms this time, but we do have Piglet's red scarf. It's a standalone element that's held in place between the head and the body. Again we have a fantastic and accurately moulded recreation of Piglet's head. The ears are painted in this darker pink colour which matches the torso, and the various facial details are printed on the face. Piglet is Mrs H's absolutely favourite Disney character. She went absolutely nuts when she actually met him in person back in the year 2000. She loves Piglet so much that she even has a Piglet mug. But I digress. Just like Pooh Bear and Tigger, this is a smashing little minifigure. Next we have the bad-tempered narcissist carrot muncher, Rabbit. It was actually Disney who turned him into a control freak with a short temper. They then tried to replace him with Gopher, who is apparently a more wholesome American character. Rabbit stands tall on a pair of unprinted pale yellow legs. The torso printing is very simple and shows the curvature of Rabbit's body and the pale hair on his chest. I rather hope that Rabbit might come with a tail element, but in reality we've just got a printed tail around the back. The printing is okay, but it doesn't have quite the same impact as a real tail piece. Making up for the lack of a tail piece, we have another beautifully moulded head. In fact, it's dual moulded from yellow and white plastic, which gives it a really crisp appearance. Extra details to give Rabbit personality are printed on using black and pink ink. Although this is a great minifigure and has good resemblance to Rabbit, it's definitely not my favourite from the set. I think part of that is because Rabbit is such a hard character to like. Not even Rabbit's attempt to bribe me with a carrot can make me feel any better about him. As a little bonus fact, computer programmers love eating carrots. It helps them to see sharp. Our final character from this set can definitely not be described as a minifigure. This is poor, downtrodden, depressed Eeyore. Thanks for noticing me. For the most part, Eeyore is one big lump of sand blue plastic. The legs are fixed and show Eeyore sitting in this rather awkward position. The inside of the ears and the muzzle are painted, as are the eyes and the seam that goes down the middle of the face. Eeyore's mane, which looks really sharp, seems to be made of black plastic. But now when it comes to editing the video and I can see it in 4K, it is clearly painted. Just look at those raggedy edges. The one detail that isn't quite right is the tail, which is not removable. In the book, it's attached to Eeyore's body using a drawing pin or thumbtack. It's not quite the same thing as a removable tail, but we do have one of these LEGO Friends bows. Most likely lose it again anyway. We may not be able to call Eeyore a true minifigure, but he is a really nice thing and a fantastic addition to the set. In fact, all of these characters are beautifully recreated and are sure to become collectible items. So that was set number 21326, Winnie the Pooh, the 34th set from LEGO Ideas. As you might have noticed, the Herbert family really like Winnie the Pooh. My son's been dragging this thing round for 19 years. Mrs H likes to push little kids out of the way to get a cuddle with Piglet, and we even drink our hot chocolate from mugs emblazoned with Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. Adding Winnie the Pooh's home and these fantastic minifigures to our LEGO collection makes us very happy indeed. It's a brilliant set, and no disrespect to Ben Alder, a much more polished end product than the slightly rough around the edges fan design. The interesting use of Microsoft Paint to add faces to the minifigures did make me smile, but I do genuinely like the concept build for Tigger. The build is beautifully faithful to the story, but goes well beyond what you would expect from a kid's LEGO set. Some of it was genuinely tricky to construct and may well frustrate younger builders. I really enjoyed the interior rooms and the tree looks fantastic, but the stars of the show are the figures. Winnie the Pooh, Piglet, Rabbit, Eeyore and Tigger are awesome and make this set a very attractive proposition for collectors. Above all, it makes me smile, and after investing 90 Great British quid of my children's hard-earned inheritance, it better had to. I had a blast with Winnie the Pooh and his friends, and even managed to make it through the video without mentioning Xi Jinping. Oh dear, there goes my Chinese ad revenue. If you enjoyed the video as much as I did making it, please drop me a like and consider subscribing for more quality LEGO content. Thanks a million for checking out the review, watch out for heifer lumps, and I'll see you on the next build video.